Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and a warm welcome if you're new, honey. So today we're going to talk about Cierra Ortega getting booted out of the villa because of her previous racial comments that she made online. Huh? Yeah. And not only that, her parents are now speaking out in her defense. So if you want to get into this story, just stay tuned. Cierra Ortega from Love Island, USA just got kicked off the show on Sunday after her old post of using racial slurs against Asians went viral. But her family still has her full support and they are backing her up every step of the way. Shortly after it was announced that Cierra would be leaving Love Island due to quote-unquote personal reasons, her parents took to social media to pretty much explain their side of the story and how all of this backlash is affecting their family. So for those who don't know, her family is actually the ones who are managing her account during her being gone, on the show. So let's go ahead and see what they had to say. As Cierra's parents, this has been one of the most painful weeks of our lives. We've seen the posts, the headlines, the hurt, and the hate. And while Cierra hasn't seen any of it yet, we have. And so have the people who love her. We're not here to justify or ignore what's surfaced. We understand why people are upset, and we know that accountability matters. But what's happening right now, y'all, I can't talk. But what's happening online right now has gone far beyond that. The threats, the cruel messages, the attacks on her family, her friends, even her supporters, it's heartbreaking. It's uncalled for. And no one deserves that kind of hate, no matter what mistake they've made. I don't know about that one. But let's continue. While Cierra is not in the villa anymore, she is still away. She hasn't had the chance to process any of this or speak for herself, but we know our daughter. We know her heart, and we know when she returns, we believe she'll face this with honesty, growth, and grace. While she'll always be our little girl, she is also a woman, one who will take responsibility in her own time and her own voice. Until then, we're simply asking for compassion, for patience, for basic human decency, not just for her, but for everyone caught in the middle of this. Thank you to those who've continued to show love, even when it's not easy. With love, her family. Now, I'm trying to stay as objective as possible, and I understand things happen, but that post about her saying something about her eyes look a little quote-unquote chink, she said it, not me. Please don't come for me. I think that was kind of wild to explain that your eyes are slanted. You could have just said maybe they're slanted. They do this, they do that. And I get maybe early 2000s, it was kind of normal to say like, oh, you have chinky eyes, and it wouldn't be like offensive. But times have changed, and you gotta work with the times, especially if you're trying to be like an influencer or someone famous, because cancel culture is very, very real right now. But what I can't understand is her also being on a podcast saying the N-word over and over and over. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Are you that nigga that controls what she wears? Or you fuck my perfect?
Now, once again, like I said, still trying to stay objective. That was just kind of wild. I do know in the Latin community, there has been a big discussion on if they're allowed to say it because they are brown, they are not white. However, it's been made pretty clear that you just probably shouldn't say it if you're not black. Honestly, you probably just shouldn't say it at all. But, I'm not going to dictate, all of that. But yeah, so I just don't think she should be saying stuff like this online. You see the backlash, you see how it's affecting her, and it ended up getting her kicked off of the show. So once again, guys, you have to pay attention to what you're saying. Even if you don't mean it in an offensive way, try to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And if it offends someone else, and like I said, you're trying to be famous, I would highly recommend just not posting it, just to avoid any controversy, unless you're one of those people that gets famous off of like rage bait and stuff like that. I mean, hey, that's going to be right up your alley. But enough about my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that she should have got kicked off of the show? Do you think that she should have been able to do the rest of the show until maybe she got eliminated naturally? Put your thoughts in the comments. And if you made it this far, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell. That way you're notified every time I post. And in the meantime, y'all be careful out here, and please, please, please watch your words, especially online. Okay, love you. Bye.